name is Martin Sandy. I'm your host and presenter for this program. This is a recorded program. I'm here today to talk about how can we address the Kush pandemic in our society. When you think about the word Kush, what comes into your mind? What do you think is the best way or the best approach can we use for us to address the issue of drug abuse among our youth in society? What method or what approach do you think is the best approach we can use to address the issue of drug abuse in our society? Most people that I've had or I've engaged with or have a conversation with, they will tell me that for us to end the use of drug abuse, we need to stop the distribution, we need to stop the sale or the resale of the drugs in our community. Do you think that by selling the drugs, we can be able to address the issue of drug abuse? So if we can stop the distribution and the sale of drugs in our society, we can stop the issue of drug abuse among our youth in our society. Think about this. From when we are growing up as young people, we used to see our police raiding ghettos and other places, hideout of people that used to sell marijuana. From that time to now, it's more than 15 to 20 years, I would say. Did they succeed in that fight? You can agree with me that they did not succeed. Why? Because today we're now hearing artists and other people advocating for marijuana to be legalized. Let's just tell you that. And we don't see police bothering themselves anymore again with it. What's the catch here? The catch here is this. When they were fighting, when they were suppressing the distribution chain of this marijuana, what happened? Another drugs popped up. That was how we started hearing about cocaine. From there, meth drugs. From there, we heard about tramadol came in. From there, Pampas water, and now Kush. And even the Kush, we have heard that they have modified it because of to make it more addictive. Why? Because of shortage of raw material. Why am I saying this? It's because even if we succeed in cutting the supply chain of the drugs, what will happen? There's a high probability that another drugs will pop up. That's just telling you that even if we succeed in cutting the supply chain, the abuse of drugs among our youth will not stop because we see that our youth will go out there in search for another drugs. Then we have seen also our security sectors conducting raids. We have seen reports on social media of them confiscating drugs from people who are selling these drugs, these harmful substances in our communities. We are seeing them arresting these people and charging them. That is kudos to the police for their hard work. But again, let us be honest. Can we trust the police that really they can fight this battle genuinely when we are seeing these same policemen in uniform abusing the same drugs they say they are fighting? What guarantee is there that these drugs, this fight they are fighting is genuine? That they will not bring or resell these drugs, or these drugs that they are confiscating will not circulate back to the market? What guarantee is there? Because we have seen reports of them confiscating these drugs, or have not seen report of them destroying these drugs. So what guarantee is there that they will not recirculate these drugs back to the market and or abuse them themselves? So the issue is, even if we succeed in stopping the distribution of the drugs among our youth, or the circulation of push in our society, there is a high probability that another drugs more addictive will come up. And because of the police harassment, what will happen? The cost of these drugs will especially go up, thereby bringing in more income to these smugglers that are bringing these drugs in our society, in our community. And funnily, our borders are very porous. So the probability of our police succeeding in the fight against the importation of these harmful substances in our community is very minimal. For them to succeed, the margin is very small if you are a mathematician. So now we have established that yes, if the government did not succeed, or the security sector did not succeed in addressing the issue of marijuana in our own time, what are the probability that they will succeed in our time? We have established that the probability is very small. And we have also established that even if they succeed in stopping or minimizing the importation of these drugs, another drugs will pop up. Thereby, the circle of fighting drugs among our people will still continue. Sierra Leone is it's a beautiful country with lot of opportunities for our youth to take advantage of and be prosperous. But yet still, we are seeing that majority of our people are living below the poverty line. And our youth are unemployed, not because of lack of opportunities, but because they have failed to prepare for the available opportunities that are around. It's here you see that our youth are not prepared enough to take advantage of the resources that are around. So before we talk about how can we address the issue of drug abuse among our youth, we talk about two factors that has led us to see, or that has led our youth to engage in drugs abuse in our society. To start with, I will just name two. There are a lot of reasons, but I'll class them into two. One is external, and the other one is internal. What do I mean by internal? One, the external factor is the system we are living today has failed us. That is, our government structure has failed to prepare us for the rapid change that is taking place around the world. The world is rapidly changing to the point that things that used to work then doesn't work here anymore. You will see that before this time, they say go to college, earn your degree, and what? Get a work. But we have seen now people going to colleges, having their degrees, and there are no work opportunities available for them. As a result, the system has changed rapidly. And the other thing you need to know here is, when we are going to school, we used to sing in our classes. We are all going to our classes, we clean hands and faces, to pay great attention to what we are taught. For else we shall never be happy and clever. For learning is better than silver and gold. Yes, learning is better than silver and gold. And it will interest you to know that after we have had the education, now we need the silver and the gold, but there's nowhere we could find it. As a result, this has led to depression among our young people. Then the other thing you need to know here is the system has failed us in what way? Now, the whole education system is designed in such a way that it is in the form of dependability. That is to say, anybody that goes through our education system has to depend on someone or an institution for him or her to get a job. What do I mean by that? Our system is designed for our youth or our graduates to look for a job opportunity rather than create one for themselves. That is why we have low creativity rate among our young people, because our education doesn't factor creativity in the sector. Because, for example, here you will see lecturers teaching about entrepreneurship, but yes, these lecturers are not even entrepreneurs. Here you see them just teaching, lecturing about business management skills, but they themselves do not even have a business to manage. So tell me, if I'm teaching you the theory aspect of something that I'm not even practicing, what a probability that I'll tell you the reality of what you need to know or you need to understand for you to succeed in those ventures. So at the end of the day, there's too much theory with little or no practical experience. So our system is not designed for creativity or to encourage creativity, but rather dependability. You graduate and you expect the employer to employ you. Also, it will amaze you to know that despite the world is fastly moving ahead, advancing in terms of technology, our system is far behind. It's here you will see, whilst other governments are building institutions to empower youth to take the lead in the fourth industrial revolution, our leaders are here building car wash centers where our youth could go and wash their cars for them and get paid. Here you see our government paying for boats so our youth go and do fishing. Here you see our government paying to buy garbage collector tools for our youth to be collecting garbages in our society. So imagine our government preparing our youth to be garbage collectors, car wash. How can this youth really prepare the future? How can this youth really be the leaders of tomorrow when they are not fully prepared when the enabling environment is not there. Of course, in some areas they are trying now introducing skill training centers for our youth to learn new skills. But how effective are these youth skills training centers in our communities? How effective are they? Is something we can talk about. And it will also amazing to know that our youth sector or the agencies or the youth organizations or youth ministry that is responsible for the youth affairs of this country are operating like a local NGO. That is to say, they operate or they work. It's here you will see the government, the president, the ministers, the first lady talking or championing the fight against drug abuse among our youth. And yet still, you will not hear thing from our youth ministries or youth agencies that are responsible. You don't hear them engaging the youth to see how can they help our youth to overcome this drug abuse and become better people in society. You see them, it's like they are local NGOs focusing only on the projects that they have at hand, rather than being inclusive and bringing, because this is the time we need to see our ministries or agencies bringing youth on board to see how can we work together in fighting this menace. But yes, see, they are on their own doing things by themselves. So the system has failed us. It will also amaze you to know that professional photographers are even earning more income than those that are degree holder or degree master's holder. Why? Because skills are now paying better than even papers. The point here is the system has drastically changed, wherein we have seen more skilled workers making more income than those with the degree holders or paper holders. So the other thing that has led to our youth to abuse drugs is the effect of the war. The effect of the war is still telling on our youth today. Because of the effect of the war, majority of while the war was fast moving ahead, our government or our youth were busy recovering from the post-war. As a result, there was little time for us to catch up with the rest of the world. So that also has led to us being not prepared for the future. Then the other thing that is responsible here is the expectation and reality. What do I mean by expectation and reality? In life, when we are all growing up, we used to have this expectation of who we want to be or where we want to be at a particular age, at a particular time. For example, like before I reach the age of 20, I would love to be this person. Maybe I would have graduated, have a job, have a place to work, and have a family. At a particular age, I need to have my own house, or if I'm not having my own house, let me have a family at the age of this age. That is the expectation. Almost every youth have that expectation in life when we are growing up. Now, what is the reality? When life hits on them because of the rapid changes that are taking place, because they fail to prepare themselves for the future, what has happened? When you look at the life they were dreaming about and with the level they are, it's like a very big gap. So what happened? This very big gap, most of our youth are filling this gap with what? Depression. And when they become very depressed, they end up abusing drugs to fill in the gap about the life they want to live. We have talked about the external factor. Now let us talk about the other factor that has led our youth to engage or abuse drugs in our society. The other factor that has led our youth to engage or abuse drugs in society is that our youth has failed to prepare themselves. We the youth have failed to prepare ourselves for the future. When our parents sent us to school to focus on our education, we were abusing, forming big boys, 5-0. We are engaging in drugs abuse, joining clubs that we are engaging, drinking heavily, going out partying, going on white party. They are taking addictive substances, hard liquor, and maybe even smoking. As a result, whilst others we are using, focusing, studying, and empowering themselves, the majority of our youth, we are there forming big boys, having women all over them, going here and there, wearing expensive dress here and there, thinking that they were doing people, only to realize later that they have really blundered and they have failed themselves. And because they have failed themselves, when they look at their fellow peers out there that have progress or that are up there, and when you look at themselves, they feel so ashamed and depressed of themselves. And what do? They turn to drugs abuse just for them to forget about their sorrows, or for them to not to overthink about the mistakes they have made in life. We fail, majority of our youth fail to prepare for the future, and as a result, it's just like a boat. When you are sitting in a boat, you don't have the direction of where you want to go. The wind will carry you anywhere. It didn't fit. What has happened? Because of our youth fail to prepare for to prepare for the future, now the future has carried them to the unexpected places they least expected, which is what? Drugs abuse. Because they fail to anticipate the changes that are happening, because they fail to adjust to the changes that are happening today, they have found themselves today in the corner abusing or taking harmful substances. Nowadays, you don't even need to have enough money or spend enough to learn a skill. If you are humble enough and willing to learn, for example, if I go to a mason and talk to him, or a contractor, that please, I don't have a skill, I want to learn masonry. If I'm humble and willing to learn, I can put myself under the person and learn the skills that will make me employable, and within 1 or 2 years, I could learn how to make brick. If I'm humble and willing to learn, I could learn how to make brick work for free. If I'm humble and willing to learn, I go to that community workshop and make myself an apprentice to learn. At the end of the day, learn a skill. If I'm humble and willing to learn, I can make myself available to that welder where I can learn. There's nobody that will build a house that will not need a service of a welder. There is nobody that will build a house that will not need a service of an electrician. There's nobody that will build a house that will not need a service of a carpenter. These are skills that people need every day. So basically, it doesn't take much to learn these skills, but our youth are not really that, our youth doesn't have that realization that yes, I can do this to generate this. I need to do this for me to raise this source of money. Wow. So that realization is not there. That is a missing link. Then the other thing you need Then the other thing we have failed ourselves in preparing for the future is the area of our youth. Majority you meet, not that there are no opportunities around, there are opportunities around, but they are not prepared for the opportunity. For them to prepare for the opportunity, they need to learn some skills. But when you meet them and tell them, why are you employed? Why are you unemployed? Why have you not learned some skills? They'll tell you that I don't have money to pay to sponsor my career to learn A, B, C, and D. But these are the same youth. When you look at them from up to down, you will see that the assets they are having is that average man 5 months salary, or maybe somebody else 2 months salary. When you look at the dressing they wear every day, it's worth more than some people's daily monthly wages. So these are the same youth that will tell you that I don't have money to sponsor myself, I don't have money to go and learn this skill. But yes, see, they have money to sponsor their luxurious life. They have money to dress, to impress, rather than to empower themselves. They fail to take responsibility for their future. So all of this thing is wrapped around the mindset. The mindset of our youth is not really prepared to take advantage of the opportunities that are around. It's sad to know that majority of our youth have this low mindset that is not even positive, mindset that is not even working. Because how can you not have money to sponsor yourself for you to have more resources? Or yes, you have money to dress fabulously, to dress old, most expensive phone. So it's just about the mindset. So there's a need for us to see how can we address those issues. It's also sad to know that it's here you will see our youth will tell you that, because nowadays it's mandatory that if you want to have a job, you need to have or need to know some form of computer skill. And for you to know computer skill, you need to learn it. It's here you will see our youth. Here you will see our youth having computers at home, having access to internet, but failing to learn the basic computer skills. Because basically, all what you need to learn about computer, you can learn them on YouTube. If you want to learn Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Excel, all of these videos are on the internet and you can learn them. But here you will see our youth doesn't even make the effort for them to learn the skills that are required of them to make a living. So as a result, what do? They sit and give excuse. And I don't have money to do this, I don't have resources, but yet still they have money to buy the expensive phone. Some phones are worth more than a computer, and also the money required for them to go and learn the computer skill. So this is about the mindset. So now we have talked about the two factors that have led us to where we are today, which is one, the external factor, that is the system, how the system has failed us, and also we have talked about how we have failed ourselves. So now the question is, how can we address the issue of this Kush menace or this Kush pandemic in our society? One of the things we need to know here is this: as human beings, it's natural and easy for us to judge other people. We can easily judge other people based on our perspective about how we address this Kush menace in our society. As human beings, like I was saying, it's easier for us to judge people because of the standard we set for ourselves. So if we are to help those that are abusing drugs in our society or community, the first thing we need to do is we need to stop the attitude of judging them. We need to see how can we embrace them. Do not set the standard that you have set for yourself for them. You know, we might be the same, but the willpower might not be the same. We might be the same, but the mindset is different. Some of us, we can be focused on our future, but some of them, they are easily distracted. So if we are to help these people in our society, we need to judge them less and see them for who they are supposed to be rather than who they are. See them as victims who have fallen to drug abuse, and therefore see how can you help them. One of the things you need to know here is these people that are abusing these drugs, these people are not even in the government quarters or in the government offices. These people are our brothers, they are our sisters, they are our cousins, they are our family members that are living with us in our society. And when they are abusing these drugs, it pains us a lot. So the thing we need to do here is, let's see how can we help them in one way or the other. One way you can start is by providing them a meal or a tablet that will help them to recover, or provide them opportunities for them to earn an income. But in as much as you want to help them, you have to also be cautious. Be cautious like a serpent, and yet be innocent like a dove. What do I mean by that? Because in as much as you want to help them, be careful that let them not steal from you to go and satisfy their drugs or addictive habits. So it's our place to help them to see how can they overcome the drugs abuse. As we are doing that, we need to also be careful. Let them not take or steal or take advantage of our generosity. Then the other thing you need to do here is we need to mentor them in your own way. At community level, let's see how can we collaborate to see how can we mentor these people for them to build up the willingness or the willpower they need for them to overcome this abusive, the intake of this abusive drug. Because it doesn't take overnight for them to overcome this thing. It takes time because they have become addictive and slave to these drugs because of they don't have the willpower again to fight it. So it's our place as you and I. It's our place, you and I, to see how can we help them develop the willpower for them to fight it on their own. And we cannot do that by criticizing, judging, and condemning them. We need to embrace them and help them in person. The other thing you need to know here is this: these people that are selling these drugs are not far away from us. They are living in our communities, they are living in our areas. It's our place for us to alert the security forces about people who are engaged in the distribution and resale of these drugs, to see how can they arrest these people, because by so doing, the police can try, but if the community is not cooperating, the police will never succeed. So it's our place as people in their communities, in the communities, to see how can we collaborate with the security factors, with the security sectors, to see how can we help to arrest those that are selling these destructive drugs to our brothers, to our cousins, to our sisters in our communities. Let's say no to drug abuse. The other thing you need to know here is government need to focus on empowering our youth with new skills and mentor and monitor or create opportunities for themselves. One of the reasons why our youth are abusing drugs because our youth are not prepared for the opportunities. So if the government takes takes the time to empower our youth in a way with the latest industrial fourth industrial revolution, I don't think our youth will turn back to drugs. No. So let's see how can we help our youth by empowering them to be people or responsible citizens in the future, by helping them to learn short skills that will make them become independent and earn a decent living for themselves. Also, we need to see how can we support programs like this, because the whole thing here is a mindset. No matter what you do, it's just like telling a thief. If it's here, you say you just like in our community, we have thieves everywhere. Telling a thief to stop stealing will not stop the thief from stealing, but rather it will construct or devise a new or innovative way to steal from people. How can we help a thief? It's how you talk to them, how you can transform them, and one way you can do that is through programs like this. Let's see how can we mentor and coach our youth to adjust because of the changes that are rapidly approaching. There's a need to see how can we help them to adjust to these new ways of doing things. Let's see how can they adjust by learning new skills that will make them more employable, to see how can they adjust in setting up businesses for themselves. Because like what I'm doing right now is a self-employment. I'm doing this thing as a side hustle, earning additional income. This program was sponsored by Afrigas, and also it was sponsored by another CJ and Son Foundation. So imagine I'm earning something from it. So if you're watching me live today, I want you to know that this program has been sponsored by Afrigas and another CJ and Sons Foundation. So So in conclusion, we have learned that one of the factors responsible for our youth abusing drugs is one, because of the system failed to prepare us for the rapid changes that are taking place. Number two, we fail to anticipate and prepare for the changes ourselves. So if we are to stop the abuse of drugs in society, we need to, one, not judge the victim or the people that are engaged in the drug, but rather help them. As a community, we have a role to play, because these people are not strangers, they are brothers, they are sisters, and they are our families. Number two, three, we need to help the security sector by reporting anybody we know or suspect anybody that is engaged in this distribution or selling of these drugs in our community. Let us call the police and report them and see them arrested. When we do that, that is one way we can clean the environment. Let us see how can we create opportunities for our youth to learn new skills and also invest in programs like this that help to transform the youth mindset for them to be productive. For example, we have the government flagship program, which is the free salon. There are a lot of opportunities for our youth to take advantage of and make fortunes for themselves. But it's other opportunities that our youth are not even aware of those opportunities because of the mindset. So let's see how can we transform. If we can succeed in transforming the mindset, we can only achieve that through programs like this. If you can succeed in that, I bet you, and I want to assure you that yes, we can succeed. If not transforming 100%, but we can transform almost majority of our youth into better citizens that will help transform the society to a better place tomorrow. See you and thank you so much.